This episode is sponsored by Smart Travel, a new podcast from NerdWallet. You know that one friend who always finds the best travel deals, picks the right cards, and somehow ends up in first class for the price of coach? How do they do that? Well, Smart Travel is like that friend, but in podcast form. They cover all things travel finance, like which travel cards earn their keep and which are just heavy, shiny metal, and planning group trips that won't ruin your budget or your friendships. So travel smarter and spend less. That's the key with help from NerdWallet. Follow Smart Travel wherever you get your podcasts. Armchair-Explorer is a part of the Voyescape podcast network. Check out all of their shows from around the world at voyescape.com. Hey guys, welcome to Armchair Explorer. My name's Aaron Miller. I'm a travel writer and your host. And today we're doing one of our bucket list episodes. And if you haven't checked these out yet, surprise, they are about bucket list experiences and things that I think should definitely be on the top of your travel to-do list. Today we are going to Victoria, the city of Victoria on Vancouver Island, British Columbia, up there in Canada. British Columbia in general is just amazing. Put that on the list anyway. Vancouver Island I haven't been to yet, but I hear so many incredible things about it. It's somewhere that I've wanted to go for a long time. And Victoria is a city right in the south of Vancouver Island that is perfect for whale watching. It has humpback whales, it has orcas. They are there year round, so you're basically guaranteed to see them. And you're not just going to see them from afar, you're going to see them close up. You're even going to see hunting. You're going to see all sorts of feeding behaviors and lots of other stuff. So I think this is one of the top places in the world to check it out. And it's also just a great destination in its own right. We're going to do a guide episode next month. We haven't done one of these before, but basically we're going to do a deep dive into Victoria and that part of Vancouver Island as a destination and try and give you all like the information that you might need if you want to go and book your next trip there. So this is like the first little teaser part of that, because I think one of the big draws for anyone going to that part of the world is the wildlife. There's tons of wildlife. And top of that list for me anyway would be going to see whales in the wild. I've been lucky to do that a couple of times. And let me tell you, when you look a whale in the eye, I've actually done that. I've looked a whale in the eye and you can see its intelligence. You can see its curiosity, its sentience. It is an incredible experience. They are enormous animals. It's almost like this sea monster rising out of the deep, but they're so gentle and they're so intelligent. And there is definitely this connection and mutual curiosity. So it's a really, really powerful experience. And taking us whale watching today is a guy called Nik Coutinho. He's one of the lead guides for a company called Prince of Wales, operating out of Victoria. And just a really passionate, knowledgeable, interesting guy, and just describes the whole experience beautifully. So sit back and enjoy this bucket list episode, Whale Watching in Victoria with Nik Coutinho.
Traditionally around our area of Victoria, it's called the Salish Sea. It's this nice kind of bottleneck on the west coast of North America where feed just gets trapped into. More and more whales have learned this area is great for feeding. Traditionally, they would only show up in the summer, and now they'll stay here in our waters year round. So we're seeing humpbacks now, November, December, January, when we would never expect to see them in the past, just 10 years ago. And they call that, at least locally, it's known as the humpback comeback. And when you see them porpoise or see them surface for a breath, you realize like they are huge. A full-grown humpback whale is almost the size of our boat. Like we have our big catamaran's 84 feet. Usually a full-grown humpback is the size of a school bus, is what they say, 40 tons, 40 feet. But some of them are a little bit longer than that. They fill up your head. It's like watching tennis. Your head's going all the way left, all the way right, just to see each end of the animal. And that's not even to mention the other major kind of whale that we have here is the killer whales. This is the mammal-eating killer whales. And you can assume that just like on land, when a mammal is hunting another mammal, it's pretty dramatic. So our killer whales here are feeding on seals, sea lions, dolphins, porpoises, and sometimes they're going after larger whales like minke whales or gray whales or humpback whales. The hunting techniques that these killer whales use are phenomenal, and just watching a hunt is just spectacular. kind of feeding behavior that we see around here is a lot of lunge feeding, like you've probably seen on Planet Earth or National Geographic, where the whale comes in with its mouth wide open and just takes a huge gulp of whether it be krill or herring or whatever schooling fish it is. And seeing that at the surface is just so loud. It's so big. You don't expect it. There's silence that kind of falls over the crowd, anticipating the whales feeding. And then all of a sudden, the first thing you hear is the big blow. So when the whale surfaces, he or she immediately exhales, and you hear this very loud, almost like trumpeting, and it turns everyone's heads. And then you can hear the mouth closing, the fish like swimming against the surface and slapping against the water. And then you hear the mouth close and they breathe back in. And it's just this whole symphony of nature just right in front of you. It imbibes all of your senses. It's like an orchestra of the environment. And that's something that you feel when you're up here, when you're out on the water. You have the waves, the wind, the birds, the seals, the sea lions, the whales exhaling, those big blows that you hear every few minutes. Your senses are just enveloped in wilderness. We're realizing that these animals are living a life just like we are. When you can watch them feed, watch them hunt, and you look into its eye, it's clearly curious. It wants to see what you're up to just as much as you want to see what they're up to. And being able to have that connection is profound for a lot of people. I remember being on a trip where this woman had spent her whole life in New York City, had never really been on the water or been in the wilderness, and it brought her to tears when a humpback whale just kind of like came by the boat, tipped on its side, and everybody could see its eye going by. The whale was looking at us just as we were looking at the whale, and there's this whole world down there that we don't have any idea what's going on except for the few glimpses we see on TV, or when we're out whale watching, that one glimpse you see of the whale coming to the surface. There was a trip I was on a few months ago where we had a report of orcas over in the San Juan Islands. So we went to see them, and on the way there, we ran into a minke whale. And then you get over to the orca whales. We saw, 8 or 9 orca whales that day, a pod over in Rosario Strait in the San Juan Islands, and then down to the lighthouse and try and find some humpbacks. So you'll be sitting by race rocks watching 2 humpback whales feeding, and you'll look out on the horizon and you see blows all over the place. So, because if it's not a windy day, the exhale of a humpback whale will sit in the air for 4, 5, 6 seconds, and it's 10, 20 feet tall. So for a mile or 2 away, you can see this. And we point this out to everybody and say, I know you're watching 2 humpbacks feeding right now, but just look in the distance, there's another 40 of them out there. And it's a very nice treat that we have here in Victoria. That kind of atmosphere is so accessible to us, and it's not that far away. It's a 20-minute boat ride out of Victoria Harbor. I've been guiding or working around whales now for just about over a decade, and I still am in awe at all of the experiences that we have. It's phenomenal, and every single time it's unique, and it brings wonder to everybody that you're with, and that is so contagious. And it's just a wonder of a magnitude that people don't really get to experience anywhere else in urban life.
Thank you, Nik. Thank you for taking us on that beautiful journey whale watching in Victoria. If you enjoyed Nik telling that story, well, guess what? You can get more of Nik talking about whales and sharing some of his amazing stories. He has a podcast. It's called Prince of Wales Podcast. Obviously, that is WHALES, not the royal version. And and you can get it anywhere. It's a really, really cool show, so check that out. You can also find out more about what he does and how to book those whale watching trips at princeofwales.com. They have some cool social media at that handle as well. And if you're looking to find out more about the destination in general, head over to tourismvictoria.com. Victoria, we're doing a destination guide about Victoria next month. I've been lucky to speak to a bunch of different people. I'm really psyched about it. They have this line in the way they sort of describe themselves, and it's where land meets sea and cultures converge. Where land meets sea. I just think that sounds so poetic, and that's exactly what it is. It's where these two wild ecosystems collide, and you just have this explosion of nature, but lots of other cool stuff to do there too. So really, really cool place. Looking forward to jumping into that guide. So make sure you stay tuned for that. And thank you so much for listening. Please follow us wherever you get your shows. That makes a huge difference. If you enjoyed today's episode, why not leave a review? Hit those glowing 5 stars. Thank you for anything you guys can do. And please also follow me on Instagram at armchair-explorer podcast. And let me know, by the way, what is your dream wildlife experience? I'm sure we've got a few of those on our bucket list, and I hope this is now added to the top of that. So until next time, keep dreaming about that stuff, because it will come true. And remember, the more that we look for wonder in the world, the more the wonder of the world becomes a part of who we are. Dare to be truly alive. This episode was produced by Armchair Productions, the audio experts for the travel industry. Find out more at armchair-productions.com. I wrote and produced the episode, Charles Tyree did the audio editing and sound design, and our lead producer is Jason Patton. We'll see you next time.
Quick question. Do you want travel tips from people who have actually been there?
Our show is co-hosted by Tim Johnson, an award-winning travel journalist who's been to more than 145 countries around the world. And I'm David Brody, the other co-host who's been travel podcasting for 20 years while traveling to 50-plus countries around the world.
In about 10 or 20 minutes per show, we break down a destination with the kind of insight you usually only get from long guidebooks or hours of research.
So if you want expert advice, zero fluff, and travel inspiration that you can actually use, search for Travel in 10 wherever you listen to podcasts, or you can also find us at voyescape.com.
Hi, I'm Pauline Fromer, host of the Fromers Travel Podcast. We post new episodes weekly, detailing the kinds of money-saving tips and cultural insights that will make your trips richer without making you significantly poorer. We do so by interviewing real travel experts like TV host Samantha Brown, Fromers authors from around the globe, and such public figures as Free Solo's Alex Honnold. It's a fun travel party. I hope you can join us.